Imagine most of you have suffered from strep throat, an ear infection, a sinus infection, or some other bacterial malady. Usually we take our weary selves to the local physician and receive a prescription for an antibiotic. What a relief it is as the drug kicks in and our symptoms die down. Antibiotics have been hailed as America's miracle drugs. Since their appearance in the 1940s, antibiotics have been the primary treatment for bacterial infections. Unfortunately, for as long as antibiotics have existed, there's been antibiotic resistance. And for almost as long, doctors have been concerned about the possibility of running out of drugs. To protect the miraculous effects of antibiotics, we need to be more careful consumers. The wide use of antibiotics is making antibiotic resistance a common problem in the United States. According to FamilyDoctor.org, antibiotic resistance happens when bacteria in your body change, so that antibiotics are no longer able to effectively fight them. FamilyDoctor.org further explains that this morphine of bacteria can happen when bacteria are left in your body after you've been taking an antibiotic, such as when you have not taken the full course of antibiotic treatment. These bacteria are able to multiply and strengthen to resist antibiotic treatment in the future. The Center for Disease Control says that antibiotic resistance has been named one of the world's most urgent health problems. Bacteria have evolution on their side. McKenna writes in an article titled, "The Enemy Within," that it takes bacteria only 20 minutes to produce a new generation, and science a decade or more to develop a new antibiotic. The World Health Organization published a review of 25 key reports on antibiotic resistance, and within the report they published a chart with the dates select antibiotics had been created for clinical use and the dates the resistance had been discovered. I made the chart into a graph so you can better understand the time frame. The blue line is the introduction of the antibiotic, and the red line is the resistance identified. As the graph shows, bacteria resistant to penicillin had been identified even before penicillin was introduced for clinical use. Similarly, bacteria resistant to streptomycin was discovered the very same year that streptomycin was used clinically. The graph demonstrates how quickly resistant bacteria can develop. For every time you or someone else improperly uses an antibiotic, it increases the likelihood that that antibiotic will become ineffective for future use. The CDC reports that almost every type of bacteria has become stronger and less responsive to antibiotic treatment. Antibiotic-resistant bacteria can easily spread to you from classmates, family members, friends, threatening the population with new strains of disease that are difficult to cure and expensive to treat. The CDC also warns that antibiotic resistance can mean serious danger and suffering for those with infections that were once easily treatable with antibiotics. When antibiotics fail, it means longer-lasting illness and more doctor visits. Some resistant infections can even cause death. To quote McKenna, "For almost every resistance factor, pharmaceutical companies have produced a tougher drug until now. Antibiotic-resistant bacteria is scary, but we can act to prevent their spread. To stop the creation and spread of antibiotic-resistant diseases, FamilyDoctor.org says to follow your doctor's instructions carefully and take all of the antibiotic medicine you're given. Don't stop taking the medicine when you feel better, and don't save any for the next time you're ill. If you skip even 1 to 2 doses, some bacteria may be left in your body and will be able to resist future antibiotic treatment." The CDC explains that repeated and improper use of antibiotics are the primary causes of antibiotic resistance. When you take antibiotics, take them properly by taking the full amount of medicine you are given, so that all possible bacteria are killed and the formation of drug-resistant bacteria are less likely. If we and others continue to misuse antibiotics, the problem will only get worse. If we do not take the full course of antibiotics, McKenna writes that only susceptible bacteria will be killed, not all of the bacteria causing the infection. After prematurely stopping antibiotic treatment, bacteria remaining inside of us will reproduce and fill the area that the antibiotic cleared. During reproduction, the surviving bacteria will pass on genes that protected them from the antibiotic treatment. The increase of drug-resistant bacteria would only make more medications ineffective. FamilyDoctor.org says that if you take antibiotics that are unable to fight the bacteria they are meant to kill, your infection can last longer. Instead of getting better, you might get worse, and would therefore have to make several visits to the doctor. FamilyDoctor.org also warns that family members, friends, and others you come into contact with will be exposed to resistant bacteria and could develop hard-to-treat infections. The CDC warns that some resistant infections can cause death. Clearly, the increase of drug-resistant bacteria is an undesirable future. To prevent this from becoming a reality, you must act. When taking an antibiotic treatment, follow the directions exactly. Take the full course of medication. Don't stop when you feel better. Don't save any pills for later. The goal is to kill all of the bacteria causing the infection, not just the weak ones. When your friends and family members are taking antibiotics, explain to them the importance of taking the full course of antibiotic treatment. Everyone must be diligent when taking antibiotics so that drug-resistant bacteria are prevented from spreading within